Y'all, in big tech news, Rabbit AI, it turns out, has much bigger problems than MKBHD. Because the last time we talked about this company was because MKBHD called their R1 AI barely reviewable. With that creating this whole debate online for a while about negative reviews and, is MKBHD a bad actor? Which, just to make clear, he's not. He's reviewing, he's giving his opinion. That's what people want. But unfortunately for Rabbit AI, they are also on the radar of another huge creator by the name of Coffeezilla, with him now putting out a video saying not only is the R1 flawed, but also alleging that it was built on a scam and shows a pattern of Rabbit failing to deliver on its pie-in-the-sky promises. Because before it was called Rabbit, Coffee claims that the company was originally called Cyber Manufacture Co., with that name change actually only happening 2 months before its official announcement.
And it turns out that name change is pretty significant because Cyber Manufacture Co. wasn't just like a shell company or the same company under a different name. They had separately raised venture capital for a completely different project. Not AI, it was for NFTs.
Right, so the NFT project was called Gamma, with Coffee noting that this was back in 2021 when NFTs were all the rage, with Gamma raising about $6 million. And Coffee going on to say that this whole endeavor is especially shocking to look into because in 2024, the company's CEO, Jesse, said that they would never touch crypto, never. And so when Gamma comes up, Jesse boils it down to a little COVID project that he did once, saying, NFTs were released, he bought some himself, but he left the project once it was open sourced. But looking into all of that, Coffee claims that Jesse actually made massive promises with Gamma, like promises of a Gamma-verse and plans to launch the first carbon-neutral or negative cryptocurrency. But these crypto coins or tokens, they weren't released, and Coffee claimed that the $6 million raised for the NFT project, it's just unclear if it went to Rabbit, somewhere else, or who knows. But he did say that all these issues tie back to the R1 device.
This project is built on the skeleton of that scam project. It's also because the R1 was overhyped in a similar way as a do-it-all device. But this same company isn't some historyless company. They have a history of abandoning investors like they did with Gamma NFTs.
Right, alleging that there is a pattern here because some of the Gamma promises were just huge. Like his carbon neutral crypto idea then turned into this plan where the NFTs would create a clean energy grid that people could then co-own that would produce coins. There were hopes for storefronts, comic books, brain logic controlled tools. It all kind of sounding insane, but Coffee also argued it's important to listen to this because the same CEO is trying to sell us the future of AI.
Look, I'm not here to stump for the bigwig venture capitalists who lost their faces on this. At the end of the day, these are both consumer-facing businesses. They got real people to invest real money into both the $200 Rabbit R1 and into this Gamma NFT project. Both are overhyped. One just already didn't deliver what they promised, while the other is working on fixing it.
With Coffee going on to say that Gamma NFT owners should get their money returned, estimating about $1 million worth of refunds and claiming that Jesse previously suggested this before. But also, notably for its part, the Rabbit team has responded to Coffee, saying there's no way to actually refund an NFT unless the owner agrees to burn the tokens on the blockchain. Also saying we don't agree with calling the Gamma project abandoned when it was open sourced and given back to the community in alignment with community feedback. Also further accusing him of taking Jesse's comments out of context and claiming that the $6 million in venture funding raised for Gamma was only used for the Gamma project. And with that, saying that they delivered on their promises by creating and selling NFTs, establishing an IP studio, and creating a sort of metaverse and open sourcing that project. With Coffee saying that the Rabbit team also denied Gamma ever promising a carbon negative coin, that it was just an idea. But Coffee maintains that they did promises and they just failed to deliver, even pointing to a video that they once released that said,
"Ultimately, our efforts will lead to the Gamma token, the first ever carbon negative cryptocurrency powered by our sun. Together, we will create a sustainable future for all life on the planet we call home. Join the Discord today."
We're saying, sure, they did deliver some other things, but they weren't what they initially said they would do, nor were they nearly as big as their promises, especially when it comes to the carbon negative coin. With Coffee ultimately saying that he'll leave it to the viewer to decide who to believe here. Though notably, it also seems like this might just be the start of his efforts looking into Rabbit. Because last week he tweeted asking former or current employees of the company to message him. So we'll have to wait to see if anything comes from this. And in the meantime, I'd love to know your thoughts.